So with Epic Games recently making GTA 5 free on their launcher for a limited time, I thought what a better time than now to bring back a laptop that I haven't used in about 2 years to try to see if it can handle playing GTA 5 online and in story. So the laptop that you're looking at here is the HP Envy M6 1225, and inside this laptop it's using an i5 3210 with 2 cores and 4 threads with a base clock of 2.5 gigahertz and able to reach a max turbo of 3.1 gigahertz. And included inside this processor is the Intel HD Graphics 4000, which is what we're going to be using to be able to play this and have a display, as this doesn't have a actual graphics card. And also inside we're getting 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM being used in dual channel. So now moving on to the outside of the laptop, there is some obvious issues that you probably have already noticed, and that of course includes the screen being just completely unusable. And this happened a while back because of the part of the laptop right here that makes it close and open. And so this part right here got stuck onto the bottom of the screen and it cracked from the bottom all the way up, which is going to obviously make the screen pretty unusable. But it's not that big of a deal since I'm going to be connecting this laptop into my Elgato, which is in my main computer. So I'll be able to see the screen and record everything off of that. So that way the performance isn't affected, and then also that way I can actually see where I'm going. And now moving on to the side of the laptop, we have a VGA port, an HDMI, an Ethernet port, but we're going to be using the Wi-Fi card that's built inside, 2 USB ports, and a headphone and microphone jack. And now on the other side of the laptop, we have where the power cable gets plugged in, 2 USB ports, and also a DVD drive. And also something that's right underneath the laptop that's just out of view is a SD card reader. So now that you guys know about the specs inside this computer and a little bit more about the condition, I think it's time now that we go over and see how well this laptop can actually handle GTA 5. So to start off the testing, we're going to be playing story mode at 1080p with all the graphics low, which in this game is just normal. So as you can probably tell pretty quickly here, this is not really a playable experience. While using MSI here, I'm able to see the FPS at the top left right there, and also a few more details about how the computer's running. And one red flag here about the performance not being that great probably has to do with the fact that the processor is running at 102 degrees Celsius. But you know, as this computer's been sitting for 8 years now and I've never put in new thermal paste, a temperature going up to that high is really not going to help the performance at all. But yeah, besides that, the averages that we're looking at here is around 8 FPS, sometimes going up to 11, which honestly is kind of way more than I thought we were going to get driving through a busy part of town at 1080p. So, you know, definitely not playable, but better than I thought. So now switching over to 720p, we're seeing a pretty noticeable difference in FPS, as now we're getting an average of around 16, sometimes going up to 19 through a busy part of town here, even reaching up to 24 FPS when we leave the city here and go farther down into the highway where it's less busy. And so with this part of the testing, it's still at 720p, but I brought down the frame scaling by half, so it's going to be cutting that resolution in half, but it should give us better performance. And now looking back, it's not giving that much of a change, but we're reaching closer into the 20 FPS even in the city, but getting around an average around 18 FPS. But with how it was before, comparing this to without the frame scaling, it did feel a little bit smoother. So I wanted to try some testing online, but as you can see here, it was being made a little bit difficult for me, but I was able to manage to get out of that fight, and now we're going to be playing at 800 by 600, which is the lowest resolution that we can get on GTA 5, and this is online with a lobby full of like 30 people, so it is probably like the worst case scenario that you can get on this game. And the FPS here was about what you would expect, seeing around an average of around 13 to 14 FPS with some dips going into 12. So all in all, online, pretty unplayable experience on this. That is until I tried playing at the same settings of 800 by 600, but this time instead I put the half frame scaling on, and this was basically about where I needed to have everything to get the most playable experience on this. As you can see here, I'm getting around 18, going upwards closer to like 20 FPS with these settings, which made it honestly a lot better than any of the other settings that I had, and I didn't bother testing the half frame scaling online since it was going to be around the same FPS as I'm seeing here on single player. So that wraps it up for this video here. Now if you guys are trying to play GTA 5 on a laptop similar to this, or maybe one that's newer, it definitely is possible, and there's other tweaks that you can do inside the files of GTA and lower down settings from there too. But you know, if there's anything that you can take away from this video is to not have your computer go up to 102 degrees. That's not safe. And yeah, that about sums it up. So if you guys did enjoy this video and you want to show me some support, a like would be appreciated. And if you guys are interested in seeing a video based completely around this laptop where I take it apart and make it something actually usable, let me know, because it's probably going to be something that I'm going to try to work on in the future for another video. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. I have a bunch of stuff coming in the mail right now for my next video that'll be coming out very soon. So I hope to see you guys on that video, and I'll talk to you then. See ya.